Here, Soloway just warned that Bitcoin could fall to the 70K level as the stock market crumbles. And if he's right, you better be ready for what's coming next. So today we're breaking down Gareth Soloway's latest market insights from verifiedinvesting.com, from crashing stocks to the future of Bitcoin that will have you on your seats and making some bold price predictions going forward. So stay tuned.
Picture this. 6 months ago, Bitcoin was $50,000. If you'd deposited then, you could have grown your portfolio by thousands. But waiting? It costs you more every day. Drip2 BTC turns missed opportunities into gains. Buy Bitcoin, deposit it, and watch your wealth grow effortlessly. Vacations, new cars, financial freedom, it starts here. Drip2BTC.com.
Hey guys, welcome back. Drip Coach here with Drip and Farm for Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. You guys have seen me bring Gareth on before. He is basically a trader and does a lot of just technical analysis, has his own courses, and been in the game both in TradFi and now crypto for quite some time. And I like listening to him simply because he looks at just technical analysis. That's it. Like, he doesn't seem to be bothered about political environments and even kind of the macroeconomic things going on. I'm sure he keeps a pulse on that, but he literally just makes his moves based off of whatever the technical analysis is saying and what the probabilities are on those trades. So I'm not a trader in the BTC by any means, but by adding his insights into the other stuff that I'm digesting, it gives me a little more clarity and in a lot of cases more certainty on what to expect. So therefore, as Jack Mahler said, Bitcoin can either wear you out or scare you out. And if you are not managing your emotions and not digesting information from a wide spectrum to understand what to expect, you can get both worn out and scared out, because this market is just brutal, especially if you're over leveraged. Therefore, the emotions get pulled in. So let's just do the first clip from him regarding the uncertainty. So again, I'm recording this video on the 1st, but you'll see it after this. So we'll just be able to see how this played out based on the global political narrative.
Chief market strategist here at verifiedinvesting.com, and we have a lot to discuss. Markets are in free fall. They've come back a little bit off of their lows, but ultimately the tariffs are the issue here. All right, so again, tariff date, which is again the 2nd of April, is approaching. Trump yesterday talking about more blanketed tariffs over every country out there, and that has sent the market into a panic zone. All right, follow me over.
So as of right now, we are still kind of in that panic zone, as he mentioned. We still got, in this video, Bitcoin sitting at 84K, the fear and greed index still in the low 20s, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So again, if you are managing your emotions, digesting information, you can see this as a great buying opportunity. If not, you're on Twitter, crypto Twitter, then the sky is falling and you might literally have just sold the bottom of this run. Who knows? So let's go into the next clip where he starts talking about Bitcoin. All this other stuff is about stocks, oil, commodities, gold, silver. I only care about Bitcoin. And I'm sure that's what you guys are looking for on this channel as well.
So again, it just over and over replicates. It's very cool. You guys start getting your trend lines down, you can really make a lot of sense of the market. And by the way, it doesn't mean that something can't bounce on the 5th hit or the 6th hit, though there's always outliers, right? That's what probability is all about. It says, okay, it works 70 or 80% of the time, but that's 20 to 30% of the time that it doesn't work. Okay, in any case, we had this downsloping trend line, this upsloping. We talked about this little wedge pattern forming. We obviously know the breakdown occurred. We are now below this level. It continues to make me think, and I've been steadfast on this, is that, listen, we're stuck between this level and this area right down here. And inevitably, support needs to be tested. All right, it's just, again, it's probability based, but I would say about 80% of the time when you're hovering between two levels, even if you're going to eventually go higher, technically speaking, resistance got tested here, you didn't test support, it's going to want to come in here, and then maybe it can go like that, but it needs to kind of find the floor. It's got to have its feet on the floor before it can jump up again, and that's the thought process behind that level. So I'm still in the camp that Bitcoin goes back to about the 74, 72, maybe even 70,000 level. As of now, would I be nibbling there? I might be nibbling there, but again, I think the key here is you got to watch the stock market. And again, I've said this from the very beginning, and in fact, even a year ago when we were watching, or last year when we were watching Bitcoin rally up, I said, guys, as long as the stock market keeps making new all-time highs, Bitcoin can go up. Notice, basically, this is the stock market made its all-time high in December and in basically January, February, and then here's the Bitcoin chart, right? And it comes down with the stock market. The only difference is the stock market's only down, what, 10%? Bitcoin on the, here is down basically 20. So you have to figure out that if the S&P drops, let's say another 10 or 15%, that could be 20 to 30% further downside on Bitcoin. Again, does it eventually mature into a digital gold, a safe haven? I think it does eventually. It's not at that point in its maturity phase yet as an asset. Okay, let's walk back to the.
So that is some new information for me that I never actually caught. And I've heard kind of two sides of that narrative. So one, I've heard this decoupling of Bitcoin from the traditional stock market. And I've heard this side now from Gareth saying that it's still something to watch. I think at some stage it does decouple, but it is good to understand or know that there's a strong correlation in it, at least from its inception until now, which makes a lot of sense. It's kind of a tech play and it hasn't quite taken on the strength of gold or anything like that. So it's somewhere in between decoupling and coupled. And that would indicate that if it's still closer to tied to the stock market, then yeah, definitely watch the stock market to determine how it's going to react. And that ties into the liquidity and what Trump is trying to do in regards to weakening the dollar and getting the Fed to cut rates. So all of that does make sense of why we're seeing blood in the streets, in my humble opinion, and why, like Gareth mentioned, we could see those 70 to 72, 75, below 75 level. And he said he'd be nibbling. I have buy orders in. I'm not a trader. I have no idea. So I have buy orders in all the way from like 76 down to I think 70, maybe 68. I'm not quite sure. And I don't believe we'll go lower than that. This is just my speculation. I have no crystal ball, nor have I heard anybody else kind of verify that. I think Gareth would say it could go lower than that. I haven't really seen his TA on that, but you would have an opportunity to still pick up some Bitcoin at those levels. And if I go back to his chart that he had up, basically once it hit here, and what he was talking about is this pattern, technical analysis, it will, if it hits that trend line or that gap between like, call it 68 to 72, depending on what it does. So if it hits it and goes up, then comes back down and retests, the more times it retests, then the higher the likelihood of it breaking below. So that's why he's saying he could be nibbling, because it could bounce, it could hit it and bounce up, then it could hit this 80, whatever this line is, like he has 92, but I think we're more at like the 80 somewhere for some more resistance, 88, 86. And if it doesn't break through that, then it will come back down, contest again. So literally we could chop between 70 to 84, and then would be some more buying opportunities. And if you're a technical analysis guru, you can decide if it's going to go lower or higher, put in a short or long or anything like that. But yeah, that's not my camp. I just want to buy some cheap Bitcoin if the opportunity presents itself, but also not be left on the sidelines thinking I'm going to time the bottom and trying to keep my capital on the side, just make one big buy. I learned that from lessons last year, buying shit coins like Drip. Yeah, you definitely just focus on the blue chips and then just dollar cost average, as well as keep some powder on the side, put in some buy orders. Like that's the absolute simplest way, in my opinion, to invest in blue chips. Because if you're a DCA, a fixed amount, then you're always buying. And if you have some dry powder on the side, and you put that buy order in of where you think it's at, and it's below your current DCA price, then that just brings your average DCA price down. And then, of course, as the market's correct, you save more money, put some more on the side, put in some lower buy orders. Like, you just keep that principle going. That's what I'm looking at. So rule number one is definitely spend less than you earn, so you can actually participate in this and get a piece of this wealth generating opportunity right now. All right, let me know what you guys think. Do you think we'll see the low 70s? I think some of you are still in the camp that the bull run is over and we're just going to break lower. And if you believe that, then what is the low for this cycle? Do you believe we break lower than our previous all-time high of 67s? Or are we just going to chop between 67 and 80 some odd until another 4 years from now? All right, let me know. Smash that HBO special, help brother out. Like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See you.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.